Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Gray, and we're just plain living here, and it is still Easter because things happen.
Yes, they do. Good morning, John. I'm Peggy Burton.
She happened.
I did. I happened to get here.
Happened to get in here.
I'm actually glad to be here.
Did you see any eggs out on your property?
Not one egg.
Not one egg?
It was in my refrigerator. Yeah. No egg hunting on my property this year. I saw turkeys. Must have had 25 turkeys. I almost called up Rodney Duncan to come over.
Do you just sit sometimes and watch how they operate?
I sit very little, but I stand and watch.
Yeah.
I'm more comfortable when I'm standing. So I stand and watch my turkeys.
I was building a property outside of Brentwood, and Valverde, and it was up overlooking the mall down there.
Yeah.
And it was a side hill, and we would seed that hill to keep it from eroding. Mm-hmm. And we'd seed it and put straw on it, and the next day the turkeys would come out of the woods and they'd line up just like they were picking cotton.
Yeah.
And they'd go across that whole thing and eat all that seed.
Eat all that seed, yeah.
But it was always funny to watch the toms, because the lady turkeys would sit off in the woods until
the toms
told them everything was clear, you know.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's funny. They run their neck up, you know, in the area, fan their tails and all that.
I seldom really see a turkey with its big feathers out, but once I had a great big bunch in the yard, and there was 2 of those. And I'm not used to seeing 2 male turkeys with a flock of ladies, but I love them. And when their babies come, that's so sweet.
Well, those 2 big ones was trying to prove to those women which one was in charge.
Which one was the sharpest, I know.
And one day I was out there, and there was a little one, little Tom.
Yeah.
Walks up and he spreads his little tail out, you know, and that big Tom comes up in that neck going like that, and he walked up and got in front of him and spread that tail out and just covered him completely up and ran his neck up in the air about that far, you know. And
just to show who was in charge.
Yeah, all that little Tom could see was his butt.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's a view you get, big boy.
Yeah.
But it's nature is wonderful.
It really is. And Easter morning, the board members at South Jackson got this beautiful picture from Chris Rhodes taken on the lake, and there was redbud, dogwood, and all the lake was out there, and then he added, plus the birds are singing.
Yeah.
And that just made me feel good.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. It's a beautiful spot.
It's the time of rebirth.
Absolutely.
It is. You know, and the reason I keep my Easter stuff up here, just like Christmas, after Christmas, still Christmas is happening because the wise men didn't get there till, 13, 15 days after Jesus was born.
And
they're the ones that brought all the gifts and everything.
The myrrh.
The frankincense, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And you know, after the crucifixion, Christ arises and then is seen, doesn't ascend to heaven for several days afterward. And so that's why I'm leaving this up, because the story's still being told right now.
True.
You know, and I want to read the last 2 pieces of my Easter omnibus, which will end this for us. And this is after the crucifixion, after the resurrection. The name of this piece is The Holes. 2 friends walked a country road. Emmaus was their goal. On the way, they discussed the stories they were told about a prophet Jesus who died then rose for them. But lost in doubt and despair, they couldn't let him in. As they journeyed on, a stranger joined their walk. They shared their doubts and fears, and he began to talk. Shared prophecies and scripture claiming Christ was real. He changed their way of thinking So they begged him share a meal. Their eyes did not let them see that Jesus sat with them until he broke bread. They bowed their heads and they prayed with him. Then their eyes were opened, as well as their hearts. They found a new journey. They got a brand new start when he said, "Can't you see the holes? Feel my hands, rub my feet. They claim my body stole. Just believe and you will see the one who hung upon the cross as God's thunder rolled. Alive again is what foretold. Can't you see the holes? Now go forth and tell your friends Jesus Christ the Savior has returned again. The salvation promised here to cleanse your souls. You can see the proof in me. Can't you see the holes? All you need is to believe. Can't you see the holes?"
That's good, John. And that's your last?
No.
No.
We
okay.
got one more.
We got one more.
The crown of thorns. God's will be done through his one and only Son, offered as a Savior for all of us on earth, concealed from speculation by a virgin birth. He learned, he taught, he preached, he walked, until the healing in all he passed was done. He tested those in power, sometimes won, sometimes lost. At the last, he was tortured. Then he carried his own cross and crucified at the world's darkest hour. On the third day, triumphantly he rose again, then alive ascended to sit at God's right hand. So the journey ended. That lets us be reborn through the suffering of the one who wore the crown of thorns.
Very nice.
That's the
story.
That's the story. So, it's a wonderful story, and it's a wonderful season because, have you noticed the red buds?
I love the red buds. When I was living in the Philippine Islands, I wanted to see red buds worse than anything in the world. I could just imagine how beautiful the hills were in Beech Grove, Tennessee.
Yeah.
I wanted to be home.
Because they're so rich and beautiful this year. They're real.
I know. They're
they're dark.
Awesome. They're really pretty.
Maybe it's because I got new glasses and got my eyes fixed. That's
It's
probably why the
amazing
color's different.
It's amazing what that'll do for you.
Yeah, sure is.
There's a whole new picture out there
It's
you
a
haven't seen.
whole new world of color out there for us.
I know.
Something else that today is I'm pretty sure the last day for people who are running for office
Oh, yeah.
in the next election can turn their papers in. Now, we've had several people to draw papers and say, I'm thinking about this.
Yeah, but
this is the last day where you can turn your papers in and
in.
actually be a candidate. And a lot of them already have, but a lot of them haven't.
Yeah. We have some good people out there, and
sure.
I'm always admiring people that are willing to serve. It takes a lot of gumption and some smarts. And
Some smarts and a stiff back and a stiff disposition.
Right.
And
it's so hard to make everybody happy. You're juggling.
You can't make everybody happy, but you can not hate everyone.
Exactly.
I'm reading a book right now by John Meacham about the soul of America, and it's about the different ways that it's about the presidents and who was around them and the things that happened during their time,
Right.
and how they handled
Big situations.
Really,
yeah.
and several of them, and Lyndon Johnson is one. Of course, he came because John Kennedy got killed,
Right.
He said, you can't be ready enough to be a president of the United States.
Never.
He said, it is the most exhausting, mentally taxing, and physically taxing thing that anyone in the world could ever do is to try to manage and run a democracy in the freest nation in the world.
Yeah, I know. I have such admiration for people willing to run.
He said, nobody's good enough, nobody's strong enough, and nobody's smart enough. We just do the best we can with the time we've got and the situations we have.
And we have some big situations.
And you look at them, every one of them, they go in there with dark hair and no wrinkles, and they come out gray-headed and beat all up and scarred.
It's a real huge
it's a brutal
contribution to our nation when people are willing to serve.
Every day.
Every day.
Even if you take a vacation to one of those places where they go, Kennebunkport or somewhere, I forget where it is they go. The phone's still there.
The phone
the
is
Secret
still there.
Service is still there. The problems are still there.
And I'm just always afraid one of them's going to hit that button that starts the
and
next World War.
Your son Bart has been in the middle of that for what now? 25 years?
Well, he spent 32 years in the military.
In the military, yeah.
In the Army. And he's still very much involved.
Right.
But, you know, he's not going to be able to fix the world like we'd like.
No, but, you know,
he'd try. He would try.
He's a very bright young man. I always say around election time, Bart Burton for president.
Thank you.
You know, and I voted for him several times.
Did you?
Written him in.
Just wrote him in.
When there wasn't anybody that I thought was suitable.
Yeah.
I might have to write him in again this year.
Write him in again this year.
Shoot, you never can tell. Might win. I'll tell you what we're going to do right now, though. We have some great guests today, and we're going to learn a little bit more about several things going on around town. And just don't go away, because we'll be back shortly.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
He's a little bit of you, he's a little bit of me. He's the trash along the roadside of Tennessee. He's the garbage that we find. He's the dream we left behind. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. Much to a traveling man, but a little bit of litter goes a long, long way. Growing and growing, getting bigger every day. Tennessee trash messing up the highways. Tennessee trash clogging up the byways. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. We have met the enemy, and he is us.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. There are a lot of opinions being shared. But I had the chance to talk with my doctor about my concerns. He told me the vaccines are backed by decades of research, and that the vaccines are proven safe and effective. Now I'm protected and ready to put this pandemic behind us. Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
Well, that didn't do any good. Have you ever fried something at night and standing over a stove? I love to cook, fried something and forgot that you did it, and the next morning put your glasses on and wonder why you can't see?
Yes.
Now look here, I can see this right here. This is Melissa Allen, and she is, as far as I'm concerned, one of our superheroes down at the fire department, because that sweet girl takes care of all of those guys and girls. How many females do you have down there?
We have one full-time,
One full-time?
and Lieutenant Amber Steele, and then we have a reserve, Michaela Long.
Okay. So have you had more than that before, back, you know?
I think so.
Probably so.
Probably so.
But
yeah.
I want to give the women their due. Right here is what I'm doing, because this young lady right here, every time I need something, and a lot of times when you need something and you don't call 911, when you call 911, you get 911.
Yes.
And they will direct whoever needs to be coming to your accident or your fire or
Exactly.
whatever. But this young lady right here is the one who fields all the calls from folks like me and my wife and the mayor and different ones to schedule
Yes.
what happens with the fire chief and yourself and some of the firemen, just like for our Purple Olympics.
Yes.
See, the firemen now are trained as medical techs.
Yes. EMS. Paramedics. Well, some are paramedics. We have a couple.
Right.
But yes, they are. We do all the fire safety talks, like for our schools, and they can call, and I can set them up for like the day. We just have to make sure that we can schedule that if nothing else is going on during
Sure.
that day. But we also have our smoke alarm program. Like anybody in the Tullahoma city limits that needs a smoke alarm, you know, we do that for free.
Oh, I know.
Through the state.
You don't have to go to Lowe's and buy one.
No. If you're in the city limits, call us or come by and see us. And we would love to help you out and get those set up. We install them. We can do it all and take care of you.
And when we have our Purple Olympics,
Yes.
we, as in any event, usually in any event around town, if you're having a large group of people, it's good to have health
Yes.
safety people around.
Yes.
And so we can have our fire department there,
Exactly.
and we can bring the fire pup or the little plugger
Yes.
or something like that in for the children. And at the same time, we have our health safety people there, and the fire department gets to eat some of those free hot dogs and get that coffee and donuts and all those things that the movies and TV have made fire and policemen eat for years.
That's right.
It's like they don't eat anything else but donuts.
Oh yes, they love their sweets though. They
Oh,
will
of
take.
course
they will
they
take
do.
any kind
Of course
sweets.
they do.
The cookies and cupcakes, they love them all, and they appreciate everybody that brings them to them. Oh, they're really good. We also have a new program, CPR classes that we do now.
Really?
Yes. So we can call. You can call, and we can set up a CPR class and get that started.
Well, you know, what's so important about what the fire department does is calling an ambulance service sometimes can take a long time to get a response. And it's not their fault. It's not that they're lazy or slow. There's someplace else they are.
Yes.
Now that we have the training in the fire halls, you know, out where I live, the fire hall too out there gets to me. If I have a heart attack at my house, 15, 20 minutes before an ambulance will get there.
Exactly.
And save my life.
Yes.
And then when the paramedics get there, turn them over. I assume that's what they do to the paramedics that
Yes,
come in the
they do.
ambulances and all that.
And we also have our amazing rope rescue team for the Short Springs that,
Rope rescue.
the rope
You know,
rescue.
I was looking on TV this morning. There was a kid out in San Francisco or somewhere that was laying on a rock by the ocean, and the tide was getting higher and higher, and he couldn't. And it's the same thing. They rope rescued this guy. So I'm thinking, man, that's really cool. And now you come on and say we've got that in Tullahoma.
We do. We have a team at our fire department that they go and train, and that it's mostly for our Short Springs climbing and where they go hiking, because you know we've had several incidents. You know,
Old people,
No.
young people,
all
every kind of
ages,
people.
all ages. That,
Yeah.
I mean, it's dangerous
You know, I've
there
not
where
done
they
that,
can.
and I got married at Rutledge Falls, so I know all of that right there. But I've never really gone out there and walked those Short Springs trails.
They're slippery.
Yeah, it is. And down at Rutledge Falls, where I used to go, I'd go to Rutledge Falls and walk from there all the way to the river before the lake was in.
Oh, yeah.
And I was really upset when they put that lake in out there, because that river down in through there was beautiful,
Oh yeah,
really beautiful.
Yeah, but
So, what can citizens do for you and the fire department to make your job easier, happier?
well,
Bring baked
actually-
goods. Bring what do y'all need?
Oh, well, they already do it. They already come see us.
They always
and
take care of
They
you?
do. Everybody comes and sees us, or we have several that do. You can come see us. You can bring your kids, and we can show them the fire trucks anytime, and just we love doing that. We do.
I
little
guess do
tours.
the school classes get to come over there like
We
they used
do.
to?
We do. They walk, and actually, we have a few classes coming this month, and they're
Good.
gonna tour the station and look at the trucks.
I remember doing that.
Yeah, and walk over and see us. So.
And going to South Jackson School and getting on the steps over there and getting pictures made.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
Walking down to the fire hall and.
Yeah,
Well, now wait a minute. The fire hall wasn't down there. The fire hall was downtown.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yes, I remember Stan.
Yeah.
He said the same thing. That
Fire
he
hall
used to
was
walk there
downtown.
from Bel Air.
And usually they bring a truck to us. Sometimes they do that too. I was talking earlier, and the reason I wanted to have this wonderful young lady on the air is this is one of the best examples that I know of someone who is behind the curtain. It's sort of like South Jackson Goes Country. You know, you never can put on a show without the small hands behind the curtain pulling strings on the puppet. You know, you just can't do it. This is one of the directors that's behind the curtain pulling the strings on the puppet. And she's outstanding. We have other young women and older women in this town. Matter of fact, the Chamber's getting ready to have their women of, I can't remember exactly what it is, but
Distinguished women? Is it the distinguished women?
Distinguished woman, yeah, awards, and has different categories for that. But my friend Michael Bush, who is a painter down in Bell Buckle, painted a series about how people get where they get. And one of them was a machine that had a big label on it, Family Dynamic or something like that. And on the top was a kid playing in the hood, and in the bottom he goes through the Family Dynamic and comes out in a prison uniform. You know, because a lot of times that's the family dynamic. You go from small into prison. Daddy did, Granddaddy did. Granddaddy made whiskey, Daddy sold dope. Now Uncle George is doing some other kind of drug, you know. So they send him out. There was one that he painted of a man in an office in a high rise, beautiful suit, looking out the windows over the city, having him a cup of coffee, and you pan down and you see a glass floor, and his feet go through the glass floor, and he's standing on the shoulders of a woman, is how he got there. So we all need to remember our secretaries, and it's not just women now. You know, I think women are getting they might not be getting an exactly fair deal, but they're getting a pretty good deal.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, so it's not just a woman. If a woman wants to be paid like a man, then y'all got to act the same. You know, some people that do what you do might be men.
Exactly, yeah.
And they don't get the respect or the thank you that they deserve either.
Yes.
But I know this one right here, and I'm very, very, very proud of her in what she's accomplished and what she does for our community.
I appreciate it. And
well, you deserve it.
I tell you, I work with a great fire department, and I work with a bunch of wonderful guys and girls there, and they treat me wonderful. I couldn't imagine.
They better.
Oh, they do. I couldn't imagine working anywhere else because
We'll
they've
get
been
'em.
wonderful to me too. And also, I wanted to mention, we also do burn permits. So that was something else.
That's time coming up, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we do it yearly, and it's based on a daily basis.
Right.
So, you know, as long as our winds are not over 10 miles per hour, we burn daily. So that was something I wanted to also talk about.
Okay, so don't just go in there and start a fire.
Yeah.
Call the fire department.
Call us or
And-
look at our Facebook page that we have, because I also post that on there.
There you go.
On our Facebook. So,
Thank you, love.
Thank
Appreciate you for all you do.
well, thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate you too.
Well, this is Alan. We'll be back after these messages.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department. Need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one!
Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Come on. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. 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 Woo.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size.
Yeah.
Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
thank you, camera lady and camera gentlemen, for putting a good, sharp picture on the screen. And thank you, John, for that introduction. It's a great day here, and we always like to share some information. I'm so excited this morning because I've been referred to some history that I'd heard about for many, many years, but I finally seen it in black and white. And there's our friend Jim Schick gave me a book called Grenada, or Grenada, whichever way you want to pronounce it, 2002. And one full page in there tells us about the northeastern part of Mississippi. And there was a Choctaw Indian lady that lived up there, had a whole bunch of kids and some land there, and a fella, I don't remember his name, that was the grandfather of these children, and they had quite a bit of land there on the reservation, and they left to go elsewhere. And immigrants came from Virginia and North Carolina and Georgia to this beautiful land there in northern Mississippi. And there was a fellow by the name of Humphrey, I believe, that was the governor of Mississippi, and there was another fellow by the name of Plummer that was the only congressman from Mississippi. And the settlers that came there had two little settlements there, and one of them was kind of spearheaded by the governor, and who was an opponent to the congressman, and the congressman Plummer had another little village there, and I think one of them, the governor named his little village Tullahoma. For what reason and where he got the name, I do not know. And the other one evidently had some ties with Pittsburgh, the congressman, and he named his little village Pittsburgh, and it was only separated by a surveyor's line. And the street that separated these two little communities there was called Line Street. One of them had 6 homes, 6 grogs, whatever that is, and no churches. And the other one, Pittsburgh, had I think a church and 2 doctors and 4 or 5 houses there, and one business of some kind. And I believe Pittsburgh, no, Tullahoma had the post office there. And these two groups of people that lived there fought all the time. They were bitter enemies for whatever reason. There was a river that went by there, and they didn't even use the same boat, or what do you call it, barge or ferry. Ferry is the word I'm looking for, to get across the river. Each one of them had their own ferry just to get across the river, and there was less than 100 people that lived in each community. Well, time went on, and they kept fighting among themselves politically and otherwise, and finally they decided, well, let's get together. There's no need for us to keep on fighting. So they decided, well, let's get together and make one community of this. And somebody suggested, well, let's get together like it's a marriage. So they did. They performed a marriage, and some fella from Tullahoma represented the bride, or I guess it was a man that represented the bride, and another fellow from Pittsburgh that represented the groom. And they had a Methodist minister that performed a ceremony there, joining Tullahoma and Pittsburgh. And they had a big celebration and a reception, and they mended their hate for each other, and they just almost avoided, well, they did avoid bloodshed by just a narrow margin, but they got together and lived peacefully. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this was in 1836. They finally got together. Well, time went on, and they renamed their village because neither one of them wanted the other one to have the name, and they renamed it Grenada or Granada. I think there was a Granada, Spain, and there was an Isle of Grenada, and they named that union of Tullahoma and Pittsburgh Grenada, and they began to fight again, but later they mended their hateful ways and got together and have been living peacefully ever since. Grenada at this time, according to the latest census, has about 23,000 residents there. They have much industry that is not unlike that in Middle Tennessee, and some of those people that had lived in Tullahoma, Mississippi, moved to Middle Tennessee and brought the name with them, even though I think Tullahoma had already established its name. They hadn't gotten their charter till 1852, but that was the name that they brought with them, and many of the accommodations and things of interest, recreation that were there are just exactly like they are now in Tullahoma. They've got youth Little League baseball. They've got one of the finest bands in the country like Tullahoma, Tennessee has, and they've got lakes and fishing and golf courses and beautiful homes there, much like Tullahoma. There's one picture in the magazine that's really too small to show on the air now, but one side of the street there in Grenada looks almost like West Lincoln Street in Tullahoma, Tennessee. But we're going to bring you some more pictures and interest about how these places compare. And remember now, this is not the end of the story, because there's a whole lot more to come, and we're glad that you can watch and be a part of our program. You're a wonderful audience, and you have a good day.
The Bookshelf in Tullahoma is the fundraising arm of the Coffee County Literacy Council. Since 1988, the Literacy Council's goal and purpose has been to support and promote adult basic education in Coffee County. We enable individuals to complete their high school equivalency exam, which helps them get better jobs or continue into higher education. The Bookshelf at 114 Southwest Atlantic Street in Tullahoma is where we sell used books, which are donated to us by the community. Come see us, bring your books to donate, and join us as you find every genre of books that you can imagine.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me in life care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
Parkview Senior Living, active, independent senior living at its finest.
Do you love sports? Then you should know about STEM. Because maximizing nutrition, analyzing peak muscle performance, calculating the perfect shot, and more are all made possible by science, technology, engineering, and math. In fact, there are more careers than ever in sports science. So if you have a passion for sports, then think about getting involved in STEM. and improve everyone's game on and off the field. Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm tickled to death. I made a call this morning to one of my buddies, and this is someone that I'm very proud to know. His story is unbelievable, and he's unbelievable as a person, as a songwriter, as a limousine driver. Randy Fincham.
All
Bye,
of that,
buddy.
yeah. Glad to be here. Yeah,
Tullahoma, Nashville.
Y'all see my blush in here, the
Yeah.
way he talks about me. I'm so glad to be here.
See, Tullahoma, Nashville, somebody might think that's a whole state. That's not a state, but it's a state of mind.
It's a state of mind, and it sounds like a railroad line, too. We take the old Tullahoma to Nashville, you know.
You know, Randy's been around for a while, and he's been in and out of Nashville, up and down and all around, and changed some things in his way of operation, and has been at South Jackson Civic Center in that show now for what? 5 years at
5
least?
years. It'll be a 5. This may be about 6 year coming.
6 years.
If they'll have me back, I hope so. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll have you back because he's been responsible for having songwriting sessions down there.
Mm-hmm. You got another one coming up
at South Jackson, and some really, really good songs have been written out of those sessions.
I'm going to play one if you'll let me.
Are you?
Oh yeah. I'm going to play one of these. We've had 3 of them, and I got another one coming up. 2-part songwriting session, with a workshop. I always get those 2 words confused. 2-part songwriting workshop at South Jackson, April 27th and May 18th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Both days. We're going to do this for 8 hours because we take our time. We don't just hammer out a song.
Right.
We talk about it. We banter back and forth. You got a room full of people writing a song. It's either a very chaotic or very wonderful thing. We've had some fun doing that. It's a different animal. So we're going to do another one. People asked me when I was going to do it, and I thought, well, I'm going to see when we can. April 27th, May 18th, both Saturdays. I believe May 18th is the second day. Both Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We've written 3 songs, and we've had one of them that was the opener of one of the South Jackson Ghost Country shows. One of them was played in the, a couple of them were played in the during the show. So hopefully we'll maybe write something else that
But
can be
the Tullahoma song,
Hmm?
I told Ray Noyes, I said, y'all are missing the boat if you don't have that on the website under, where they show what Tullahoma has. It's got Rutledge Falls and all this different stuff. Don't play somebody else's music there. Play your Tullahoma song. This song should be Tullahoma's theme song.
Oh yeah.
Anthem.
You're talking about Small Town Calling. I love that.
Right.
I don't have it ready today, but I love it.
No, that's okay.
It's a wonderful song. And
about the railroad track.
Yeah. That's the sound of a small town calling. Perfect Tullahoma anthem. So
it is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. And then when he's not singing and performing, plus he goes up on the mountain. He runs the show at the smokehouse up there. You also go from time to time over to Freddie's. Mm-hmm. Where else?
Well, Freddie's Tuesdays I make the trek to Winchester, and I do during the winter months Oasis Steakhouse. I do a open mic there 5 to 8. But we're about to move down to Drafts and Watercrafts right there at on the marina in Winchester, and spend our summers. And gosh, you never know who may be in the crowd there. Alan Jackson's been there. Walker Hayes has been out there, and God knows who else that I hadn't recognized. And but y'all come out there and we'll do some singing together, some playing, and I just love interacting and working with people at Smokehouse. I play up there on Saturdays from 4:30 to 6:15, and then I run the sound. But Sunday I do a great open mic. We carried on that 60-year tradition, which is the Smokehouse, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. So 4 hours of open mic, and we just let loose and play whatever.
And somebody can do music there. They can read a poem.
They can, yeah.
Just whatever. It's just open mic for creatives.
Yep.
And then when all of that's not happening, you're a limo driver in Nashville, Tennessee, right?
Yep. Love that. And I've driven them all at one time or another, And it's as fun as it sounds because you get to be around the music and get to be around all these great events, and you get to see how the other.
And I'm going to ask you the question. In general, And I'm sure people have problems that cause them to be one way or the other. Are the people that you drive pretty friendly and pretty nice?
Every single time. Every country music person that I've ever driven, every actor, I have not had one of those that you would think maybe not be friendly. They're all just as friendly as can be, and a few of them are just like you see them on the TV. So,
very good.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
And this guy is just like you see him on the TV. And I'm going to give him to you right now because I don't want to waste any more time until you hear just how talented this fella is.
Thank you, thank you. Well, the feeling's mutual, John. I'm going to do a song that we wrote in one of our workshops. So we got about 12 writers on this, if my calculations are correct. It's a song about the state of Tennessee. You've heard the Tennessee Music Pathways. If you go Google Tennessee Music Pathways, it's a kind of a marker of all these famous things, eateries, music, and people's birthplaces around the state of Tennessee. You can actually make your own map to travel around. So we stuck to the music part of this. We wanted to pay homage to this great musical state, and we wrote this song called Tennessee Music Pathways. Just chase those butterflies down Route 441. You'll see a statue in Sevierville on the courthouse lawn. She wore that coat of many colors like the flowered field she roamed, sitting and strumming about her Tennessee mountain home. And in Memphis down on Beale Street, you can hear those Delta blues. Walk through the gates of Graceland, hear about a boy in blue suede shoes. Tina Turner, she's from Nutbush, Isaac Hayes from Covington, and you'd be crazy to miss Camden. That's where Patsy's plane went down. Every note that was played, every song that was sung, every fiddle that got bowed and every banjo strung. From the hills to the honky-tonks, right up to that Opry stage, find your song. Come sing along on the Tennessee Music Pathway. Mother Maybell's wildwood flower, hear the echo of her guitar, to Jimmy's yodel up in Bristol, where country music got its start. Loretta Lynn still singing out in her hurricane mills, and Johnny and June lay side by side in Hendersonville. Every note that was played, every song that was sung, every fiddle that got bowed and every banjo strung. From the hills to the honky-tonks, right up to that Opry stage, find your song. Come sing along on the Tennessee Music Pathway. Every note that was played, every song that was sung, every fiddle that got bowed and every banjo strung. From the hills to the honky-tonks, right up to that Opry stage, find your song. Come sing along on the Tennessee Music Pathways. Find your song, come sing along on the Tennessee Music Pathways.
Randy Fincham.
Thank you.
I love it. Man, that's a great song.
We recorded that in Nashville, and it was a really cool bluegrass mix. We got some people from the Opry band, Opry staff band, to a house band there to play fiddle and mandolin on that, or fiddle and banjo, not fiddle and mandolin. But
And where is that? Where does that go from there?
Well,
somebody ought to be playing that.
I've pitched it, and I'm it's ever in the process of trying to get it to the Tennessee Tourism Commission to use maybe in a commercial. That's it's an ongoing process pitching songs.
Oh, sure
You
it
pitch them
is.
and then you pitch them again, and if you don't hear anything, you pitch them somewhere else or to the same place again. So.
And you hear the thing. Excuse me. The thing about it is, you hear a song produced. And then down the line somewhere, you hear the songwriter singing. And it's nothing like the production that some star did.
Yeah.
It's just a simple story.
I love that. I love demos and work tapes of songs. And work tape is when you're first writing a song, and I keep all of them.
Oh, I do
it's,
too.
It's a fascinating thing to hear the progression from the work tape to the demo to the actual recording.
And I've got one that we did that was recorded at Ocean's Way that I still like. The original acoustic version is the version that I play for myself.
Yeah.
And when I give it to people, I don't give them the recorded the studio the studio cut. I give them that because the soul of it is in that right there.
Exactly.
And sometimes the soul gets washed away by a lot of noise.
It does, yeah. Especially nowadays, you overproduced is something that happens a lot nowadays.
Yeah, it sure does.
So if you delve into the past and some of these demos of old, especially old country hit songs, you can find some beautiful things there. YouTube's a great place to spend the afternoon looking for these things.
Oh, heavens, yes. and just, of course, the thing about it is you take and you want to pitch to somebody, and the best you can get probably is 2, 3 songs, because nobody's going to listen to 50.
No, they're not. You're lucky if they listen to a whole one.
But the thing about it is, the one that they might be looking for might be in that 50, but they ain't never going to do it. Listen.
Yeah. There's
so many great songs get missed. And a lot of them are because favors are owed.
Yeah.
I cut yours, you cut mine.
Yeah.
So I've missed a lot of cuts on stuff like that.
But we still get the joy of writing them, and we still get that completeness and soul expression that they can't take away. It's all up to the good Lord, and I think He'll, sometimes the whole point of it is for us to get together and bond and get out what we need to get out of here and here on the paper and guitars. So, and then we get that soul blessing, I guess.
And once you do that, that's enough.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's enough, and then you quit worrying about it. You say that's done.
Yep.
Like he said, and now it's done.
Mm-hmm. It's done.
So when you unload what you have to tell,
yep,
and you've done it in a way that pleases you, that's good enough.
Amen. Everything else is icing on the cake.
There you got it. And nobody else may never hear it, but sing it to that guy in the mirror.
Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah, that's true. And no matter who you are, even if you're a big, huge hit writer, you're going to have more songs that aren't cut than others.
Oh, of course.
So, just got to do it for the love of
and
it.
And Tweedy, Jeff Tweedy.
Okay.
He's I can't remember the name of the band he's with. They're a rock and roll band, but he's a country guy.
Yeah.
And he wrote a little book, and my sister-in-law gave it to me for Christmas. And it's everybody needs to write a song. No matter who you are, whether you know anything about music or not.
That's true.
And share your soul and sing it at the mirror. If nothing else, sing it to yourself.
Yep.
But then if you can sing it to somebody else, that's good too.
That's true.
You want to end us with something else?
Oh,
here?
yeah, if you don't mind. And that's what we're going to try to do during all these songwriting workshops. It don't matter if you've got a lot of experience, some experience, or no experience in songwriting. We're going to have that beautiful time of making a song out of thin air. And I'm going to do one that I didn't plan on doing until I was coming over here. I thought, you know what? I read these posts on Facebook about the Tullahoma Animal Control. I think they got 2 of them that work that whole thing over there, and they have a lot more dogs than what they got capacity for. So if anybody's on the fence about getting, we're an animal family. If anybody's, we take care of a lot of animals. We got, let's just say more than 10 at my place. But if you're on the fence about getting a dog, maybe this will help you make that decision to go get somebody that'll love you no matter what. And I used to not preface this and tell them what it was about, and I need to because people think I'm singing about my wife, but I'm singing about a dog. This one's called Gotta Have a Dog.
Oh.
Perfect. She's a loyal friend and she listens real good. Polite around people like a lady should. She meets me at the door when I get home from work. Always leaving her here on my favorite shirt. She spoils me with her loyalty. I wish I could be the me that she always sees. 'Cause even when I ignore her, go out with other girls, she gets my leftovers. Well, I'm still her whole wide world. No matter what I do or we've been through, I'll always be her man. Yeah, you gotta have a dog to understand. A free puppy sign down at the Walmart. I heard a little cry from a cardboard box. Laying on my lap, driving home in my truck. I gave a whole new meaning to puppy love. It was the first day of what was meant to be. Yeah, I saved her, but she really saved me. Even when I ignore her and go out with other girls, she gets my leftovers. Well, I'm still her whole wide world. No matter what I do or we've been through, I'll always be her man. Yeah, you gotta have a dog to understand. These days she don't run too fast, and she can barely see. Oh, I can't imagine life without her. She means so much to me. Yeah, she's my family. And even when I ignore her and go out with other girls, she gets my leftovers. Well, I'm still her whole wide world. No matter what I do or we've been through, I'll always be her man. Yeah, you gotta have a dog, or you'll never make it through it all. Yeah, you gotta have a dog to understand. Lord, I understand.
Randy Fincham, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Go get you a dog.
Go get you a dog. Thank you, Randy, for being here with us today. And don't forget, that songwriting session is
April 27th and May 18th. 2-part, $20 for both of them, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Go to South Jackson's website. And just you can go on Facebook, find Randy Fincham here, and I'll be posting the heck out of it.
So that $20 for 2 of them means not 2 times you pay 20. That's 20 for both sessions.
Yeah.
$10 a session.
$10 a session. We have us some fun.
There you go.
And no matter what your level is, we're gonna all include everybody, and we're gonna come up with something really good.
We'll be back after these messages, folks. Can't get rid of that smile.
Hi, my name is Ringo. Here at Barkview Senior Living, they're human friendly. That's why I love it here, and so does my senior human. When they want a bite, they get chef-prepared meals, and so do I. Movies in the theater, day trips, walks on the trail, and other senior humans to play with. The grass and the grounds are exquisite. It's everything my human needs to be healthy and active. Barkview. A Parkview Senior Living. For your dog's best friend, you.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how's sketches, me? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes. Look at that. You didn't even turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you got to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
We teach Parkinson's patients how to move big and not let the Parkinson's slow them down. I've had patients I've treated in-house that could not even stand up, could not roll over in the bed, left the facility walking with a walker, have come back to us in outpatient and continued their big program and are now completely, handling life. The success of the program is just phenomenal.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop with Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration, your #1 hometown HVAC company. We offer dependable and reliable service on all your HVAC equipment. We also offer high-efficiency trained cooling units. Call us for your cooling needs. Your comfort is what we do.
It's summer, call Stroop.
Welcome back. I'm so happy to have Jackie Duncan again here today. Jackie, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm worried about the storm that's coming, but I guess it's no good to worry about
No,
it.
you don't worry about it.
So what's new in your area?
It's a lot of everything, really.
Every day is a new world.
Every day's a brand new
I
day.
know.
Thank God for that, and it's a blessing. So
I know.
It's a blessing to be here, that we are able to participate. It's I did I had the honor of addressing the Sunrise Rotary Club.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, it was spent a week or so, a little over a week ago. It was a week ago exactly, I believe, today. And about some things, and of course, former Mayor Lane Curley always has a great the history of Tullahoma. I think
He really does.
He does, and he addressed them with history of Tullahoma, I think, the week before. And so I was, I had some events, some things that I was going to address about that are not commonly known. And
good.
But every chance I get to talk about them, I usually do.
Yeah.
And about local folks, local history that is not recorded in the regular
annals of
Tullahoma
history,
history.
yeah.
And so, and one of them, of course, was my cousin, Sister Jessie, that always, I remember as a kid, cars would come here from Nashville and Chattanooga and Huntsville and Cadillacs and limousines. And
wow.
I tell folks some of these cars are longer than George Washington's been dead. I tell you what, but they were long cars, and folks would come to see Sister Jessie. She was everybody said she was a faith healer.
Oh.
And you didn't know about her?
I've sort of heard about her, but
well,
and she was a faith healer.
Faith healer. Uh-huh.
We need one now.
She was a reformed alcoholic, and she had a little cafe over on right over on the street that runs right by Welton's Funeral Home.
Yeah.
That little street that goes down there, and she had a little cafe there, and it was. Somebody said that it was the. Somebody said that could have been the first mall. Had one of the first malls, and nobody really knew what a mall was at the time. This was back in the
wherever
40s and 30s and whatever, before malls ever existed.
So she had other things going on.
Oh yeah, she had a 3-part building of the pool room, I know, and the first part, the center part was a cafe and restaurant, and the next part adjacent to it was a barbershop.
Great.
Her brother had the barbershop, and at one point in time, there was that little pool room over in there. Was over the years, as I grew and grew and grew. I think my brother and somebody else went into business.
Yeah.
And they rented out one room there, but that was long after she had gotten out of the business. But I'm getting off the subject too much.
That's all right.
On that, but yes, but Sister Jessie was just a good faith healer. And I talked with one of the guys at the mayor's assistant to the county mayor. I'll think of his name in a minute.
Coffee County?
Sam Harper, yeah,
Okay.
Coffee County Mayor Sam Harper. Sam's a good friend. I've known him. I knew him before he came into office with running the mayor's office up there, and but I knew him long ago from another work back in when I was a young man. He was a young man too, and so but Sam remembers. We talked about that, and Sam remembered riding his bicycle back, and we're both way up in age now. We're up here. But we had, I won't speak for Sam because he's just a spring chicken. Maybe he'll say that, but I'm just. But anyway, we're both older now, quite a bit older, and he remembered though as a young boy riding his bicycle. And
would you all stop in at
seeing
Sister
Jesse's a tent meeting right down here somewhere, I believe, here in town. But she used to preach on the corner at the old post office over there. Right up, let's see, where is First Christian Church? They've got a community build, some kind of building.
It's a wonderful building.
Yeah.
We did a celebration of life in there for my son-in-law.
Okay.
It was nice.
Well, I did a book signing in there back a while back too. And so it's a great, they took that old post office and made a real nice area out of it.
It really is a nice area. And they feed a lot of people out of there.
Yeah. Sister Jessie used to preach though. Out there street preaching with the big had a microphone and a big speaker on top of her car. I remember that little Skylark.
So she drove around and
she'd drive around. She'd park that thing and she'd preach, on the street corner preach. But she was the one that led. Everybody maybe hasn't heard of Zig Ziglar. A lot of young people maybe have not.
I have heard of Zig.
Zig Ziglar was one of the greatest motivators back during during the 60s and everything. And he reached the world. And this guy was nothing more than an Amway door salesman pretty much until he met Sister Jessie. Came to Tullahoma with somebody, and he tells it in every one of his...
came to Tullahoma?
He came to Tullahoma. And every one of his books, look in every one of his books, even after his death, his son writes about his daddy and republishes some things. And the son tells about how this faith healer from Tullahoma, a little black faith healer from Tullahoma, Tennessee, led Zig Ziglar to the Lord and changed his life.
How interesting.
Every one of his books, he wrote about Sister Jessie. And I've got articles, and that was one of the things I did when I got to address the Rotary Club last week. I mentioned about that. I had articles about just about everything from back then, but Sister Jessie was little known. Like I said, I'm the one. I think I'm the biggest spreader of the word of her because
Jessie?
The local, she's not in our local history.
And that's too bad.
Yeah, and a lot of people just don't know this. But I've gotten lucky over the years in reading and discovered things like that, you know.
Exactly.
So when I discovered about Sister Jessie, and they had the Tennessean had a big news article on her over years ago. It's been years ago, and there was a little publication out, and like a little booklet, and somebody brought it to my attention back then, you know.
Yeah.
So,
When you mentioned faith healer, does that mean she prayed over people? Or
she prayed over people, and people got better. And one lady said that she had a wound that wouldn't heal, and said Sister Jessie prayed over it and put butter and honey on it and prayed over it, and it healed. Yeah, yeah. All people believed in her, even after she had passed. When she was no longer with us, I had an apartment, my first apartment. I was out on out there close to Forest Park, and I got a phone call one day. God, that's been over 50 years ago. I got a call one day, and somebody's wanting. They saw Duncan. It was in the directory.
Yeah.
And this is when you had to make collect calls, or when you had to use an operator-assisted call.
I know.
And you couldn't just dial direct through or whatever. But anyway, they called. They didn't call collect, but they called and was wanting to know if this was the residence of Sister Jessie.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I told them no. I said, Sister Jessie passed about 4 or 5 years ago, and I heard the background. Oh no.
Yeah.
They were calling. They thought Sister
Everybody
Jessie
loved
could help.
her.
Oh yeah, she was sweet. She was sweet. And lived right over there on Southwest Atlantic, I believe, one on the other side of the railroad.
Well, that's a testament against alcoholism, because she was an alcoholic, right?
Yes, she was.
And she got through that.
God got her through that and used her, to bless the world.
That's amazing.
It is, and she just there was a fabulous story. It's a fabulous story to tell that most everybody don't know about.
No, they don't.
And I lived through it, and I thank God.
I just heard the name.
Yeah.
I didn't know about all that.
Well, I said, I'm thankful.
Awesome.
I'm grateful that I'm the messenger, I guess, that's spreading the word about it, because she would pull up, she would embarrass me so much back then. I didn't understand, But she pulled up in the yard over there at my house, and I came in one day from school, and I had my books under my arm, and I was about 8, 9, maybe 10 years old. And I heard something come over a loudspeaker. There goes my little cousin. She was talking in the microphone, and that big speaker on top of her. There goes my little cousin. Looks just like Billy Duncan. Billy Duncan was her brother. And she was just, and she was talking about the family resemblance there, but she was so, and I looked, boy, and
you didn't know
I was
where
crunching out, and but it was a blessing just to know her, to get to know her. And I remember I got a picture of her mother and her father, which her father was my granddaddy's brother.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and I got a picture of them standing out on
So
the
you were
porch.
actually related to Sister Jessie.
Oh yeah, she was my second cousin.
your
She was my
second
dad's
cousin.
first cousin. Yeah. My granddaddy and her daddy were brothers.
Oh,
So and they lived right over on Washington.
I'm sure there's a
not
lot
Washington,
of
but-
connections with you and other people.
Uh-huh. She lived on south, I believe it's Southwest Atlantic, the other side of the railroad track, and her mother and father lived on the other Atlantic, Northwest Atlantic, right across, just about across the street almost, but she was up a little further up. But anyway, it was a blessing.
She needs to be in our museum. Well, there's a lot of history that needs
Well,
to be.
there's definitely
in our-
history. Zig Ziglar, in every one of his books today, gives her credit. I mean, he's passed on now, but
Yeah.
he gives her credit for leading him to the Lord and changing his life.
That's awesome.
Changed his life, and so it's made him the man he is, and he speaks highly of Sister Jessie.
And
his mother told the story. His mother was from, it's such a, the way it worked out. His mother was from Coffee County, Alabama. Sister Jessie's in Coffee County, Tennessee. I'm looking at all these.
I didn't even know there was a Coffee County in Alabama.
There is one, and that's where they live. So anyway, we're about out of time now. I still didn't tell what I was going to tell about some other things.
We'll have to do it next time, I guess.
Yeah.
But Sister Jessie was
Sister
a great
Jessie was a
story,
great
and she
story.
deserves to be remembered and appreciated.
She did. She does.
Jackie, it's so good to have you.
Well,
I look
thank you.
forward to seeing you every
Thank
time you
you.
walk in the door.
Well, I always look forward to being here and seeing you
We
guys.
love
You and
having
John
you.
both. Yeah.
Well,
It's a
we'll be
blessing.
back.
I want to invite y'all to come by Clayton's, downtown Tullahoma. We try to serve the community, the area, and we try to help people with their feet and comfortable shoes. We still measure feet. We have a great new arch mat. We have insoles. Please come see us at Clayton's and let me help you find some comfortable shoes for those achy feet.
Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
STEM is everywhere, like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with disodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker boards.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop with Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration, your #1 hometown HVAC company. We offer dependable and reliable service on all your HVAC equipment. We also offer high-efficiency trained cooling units. Call us for your cooling needs. Your comfort is what we do.
It's summer cough trip.
There's a lot of talk about the risks associated with the COVID-19 vaccine, but the reality is, it's safer than going for a run. Give it a shot. Find a free appointment today at covid19.tn.gov.
Times are very challenging right now, and stress levels are high.
Reports indicate overdoses on the rise in communities across the state of Tennessee.
Those experiencing addiction and their loved ones may be struggling to navigate through all the change.
We want you to know that deaths from overdose are preventable.
And help is available.
Anytime.
Day or night.
How do I know?
How do I know?
I am the face of recovery in Tennessee.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad today to have one of my partners in here, Mr. Jerry Harris. And Jerry is one of the three musketeers over here at P-Head Productions. And he is the what a horse guru, the man who came in and brought the walking horse into our production facility and been doing it for how many years now, Jerry?
22.
22 years that we've had the show What a Horse on the air. And Jerry, as do a lot of the people in the walking horse industry, have disagreements with the government about how these horses are judged and how they're the vets or whoever, DPQs or whoever, whatever you call them, come in and say which one gets to play and which one doesn't get to play.
That is major concern. The judging, we can fix the judging. It's the inspections that really now, and everybody needs to understand the Horse Protection Act is a good law.
Right.
Now, it's a good law. And at the time that it was put into effect, it was needed. But now that was back in the 70s, 1970 to be exact. A lot of things have changed. That horse is dead. The majority of those trainers are no longer in the industry. We have new trainers. Sure. We have younger trainers. And the horses that are being presented now, it's just a travesty that we have government officials and supposed to be professional equine veterinarians. Supposed to be.
Right.
They come in and they completely
rewrite the SCAR rule. They rewrite everything about the Horse Protection Act to fit an agenda. This weekend, we had the FAST had their show. Now, FAST.
Tell us what FAST is.
FAST is the group, the Foundation for the Advancement and Support of the Tennessee Walking Horse, which means they raise funds to help us defend ourselves. There was a lawsuit filed against the USDA because of rulemaking, their inspection processes, the way they do it, and the fact that they misquoted or, well, they falsified their findings. And there was a 61-page reply written to them about this, pointing out the different times that they had falsified their records. If you look up Penal Code 32, you're going to find that falsifying government records is a felony. Well, we filed a lawsuit against them for what they've done. And since then, this year, when they come in, they've come in like gangbusters. Number one, the USDA has sent 2 women in that have the highest turn down ratio. There's your penal code right there, section 132. They have the highest turn down ratio of anybody in the government. All right, one of them even made a statement to a lady, and this was sent to me in a text message, that she was going to take a certain trainer down no matter what. That shows the agenda they have. But to give you an idea of how far they will go, if I told you that there was a SCAR here that was only 2 or 3 cells thick, what would you say to me? In all honesty,
unless you got a magnifying glass, you can't see a cell.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I don't think with a magnifying glass you can see a cell really. But this is what we get. Show this video.
When you can feel the roll at the top of it, that's a SCAR, even if it's only 2 or 3 cells thick.
You see, that's what we have to put up with. That was a equine vet that works for the United States government, which tells me one thing: they couldn't make a living out here in the regular world, so they went to work for the USDA. Now, he's telling a trainer that there's a SCAR there, even though it's only 2 or 3 cells thick. That's what these other breeds, if they ever get us, these other breeds better look out for that.
Well, that was going to be my next question: is does any other horse shows in the United States get this kind of treatment other than the walking horse?
No. However, they use other breeds to attack us. Like they say, well, this doesn't happen to these breeds. There's only one problem. They don't check those breeds, so they don't know. But if they ever get the walking horse, John, then the saddlebreds, the Morgans, the Pasafinos, even down to the quarter horses, they're all going to be under the gun. They think that they're out there, they're safe. They're not. This weekend, this is how bad it got. People were honestly afraid to take horses up there, even though they knew they were in perfect condition. Most people have their horses inspected by an equine vet before they go to show. I know I do. But here is a video of a horse that they turned down for being sore because it had a field scar under its knee. You can see it up there, how high it is. They're supposed to inspect the pasterns. But they turned this horse down for a injury that happened 6 months ago. And
now, when you say field scar, that means when they're running around out in the field?
Yeah, when they're out in the field.
Yeah.
Or it could happen in the stall. But it's not even close to where the pastern is. And they turned that horse down on a federal ticket now, which means that trainer that led that horse up there and the owner They're looking at a federal charge because the horse had an injury that had nothing to do with the Horse Protection Act. That's how far their agenda has gone and how far they have overstepped the HPA. That's like if we're going down the street down here, the speed limit out there is 30 miles an hour. We come up through there 20. They give us a ticket. They say, I don't care what that says, I'm giving you a ticket for doing 40. That's where we're at. It makes the truth, it has lost complete vision. There is no more truth to anything. It's just, you do it, this is it, there ain't nothing you can do about it. And that's what the walking horses fight. So
join the fight.
Join the fight, people. These other breeds, they better be looking at what's happening to us, because as I've heard so many times before, you're next. You might as well get ready for it. You are next. They're going to go down the line. It's going to be like dominoes, because if they ever get us, then every gated breed, makes no difference who you are, they're going to get you. And that's it. And they don't care how they get you. I think they've proven that this week.
Yeah, they did. Jerry Harris, my partner, talking about the walking horse. Go see a show. Go watch and see what's going on. Read your paper. Be involved. Find out what's being done, right or wrong. A lot of times it's wrong. We'll be back after these messages.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old. But I am a camping influencer. You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again, then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
All right, folks, we got 9 seconds to go.
Is that all we got?
That's all. What is it?
Oh, Rock of
Ages
at the Civic Center this
South Jackson
weekend.
Civic Center. You can go down there and rock and roll and rock and Peggy and I'll be.
A lot of good 80s music. Yeah.
We'll be doing this.
It'll be fun.
Hey,
y'all have a good
watch
week.
Watch out for the weather tonight and enjoy your life here in Tullahoma, Tennessee.